What up, Luna?
Q. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Honey, please. He is one of the greatest pioneers of our time.
Hello and welcome to Face to Face with me. I'm Desi Anwar in a program that brings great minds to the screen and where we meet people who make a difference to our lives. In this episode, I meet with Quincy Jones, a famous producer, musician, composer, arranger, and someone who has given birth to many legendary musicians and singers such as Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, and Will Smith. Quincy Jones is also a passionate philanthropist and someone who champions many humanitarian causes through his Quincy Jones Foundation. So join me here on Face to Face with Quincy Jones.
Recently, Indonesia saw the visit of music legend Quincy Jones, whose work as producer, composer and arranger has earned him 27 Grammy Awards. His visit to Indonesia was to take part in the Indonesian Music Expo at the ASEAN Fair 2011, an event to promote Indonesian traditional music to the world, as well as to encourage Indonesian musicians to enter the international music market industry. Quincy, or Q as he is known to his friends, came because of his interest in the Indonesian traditional musical instruments. He is guest of honor at the ASEAN Fair dinner, hosting heads of states attending the ASEAN Summit. And he also shares his thoughts about the music industry at a dialogue with Indonesian music lovers, hosted by the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, Mari Pangestu. With his international fame and influence, no doubt the country hopes that this legendary music producer and his particular interest in Indonesia could play a role as a sort of ambassador to show the world that Indonesia too, with a rich musical tradition, can contribute to the diversity of global music.
We're back to being strangers, wondering if we all stay or head on out. Just once. Figure out what we keep doing wrong. Why we never lived for very long. What are we doing wrong?
Meeting Quincy Jones in person is to come face to face with someone who has worked with, rubbed shoulders, and given birth to some of the world's greatest artists and musicians in the past 5 decades. Someone who, despite his advancing years, bowls me over with his great energy and passion, as well as a strong sense of purpose that gives incredible focus and creativity to his life.
Good to see you too.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to Indonesia.
The first time is incredible.
First time.
Incredible.
So, what's your impression so far?
Oh, come on, it's beautiful. It's I've almost been to every city in the world, you know, but this is one we used to come through here, but Vietnam, China, Korea, places. But I've thought about it. Some of our friends have lived here and everything, you know. It is fantastic.
And you performed in front of all the heads of state at the state dinner of the ASEAN Summit. How did it feel?
We do it all the time, please. I produced the inauguration for Clinton. And the first one, we produced the Millennium for him. Oscars, you know, it's normal. It's great fun, you know. It's I'm from the same hometown as President Obama, Chicago. So I see the Chicago in him. You know, every city has a style. Mm-hmm. You see when he danced to at last on his inauguration. Mm-hmm. That's Chicago. That's really Chicago. What I've realized is he speaks this language too. And this is where he was spending 4 years of his life here, right here. And I was very happy to hear that.
Yes, but this is the first time you
Yes,
did it.
first time ever, you know.
Okay, I mean, that's 60 years. Let's
6-0.
6-0. Let's
Yes, I'm 18
go
years old.
through.
I'm 78 years old.
You look, you know, younger than 40.
I feel it. I do.
I mean, you look so energetic.
Well, you
and,
help me
you
feel
know,
young.
you're still very productive. But, I mean, you're a composer, producer, arranger, musician. I mean, let's go through
Film,
some of these
TV,
many lives.
magazines,
of
with a
yours.
broadcast.
TV, magazines,
This is-
broadcast, everything.
Once you learn your core skill, it's all the same. And from 13 years old, my passion, we didn't know what we wanted to be. I wanted to be a gangster till I was 11. I did, because it was Chicago. That's all we saw, with dead bodies and gangsters. And in the 30s, during the Depression, and my father was a carpenter for a gang, the biggest, most notorious gangs in Chicago. And Capone ran them out of Chicago in 1943. He put us on a bus, trailway bus, the next day to go to the Northwest. And the Northwest is where I changed from wanting to be a gangster, and I found a piano and a building we broke in, and I touched it, and I knew that for the rest of my life, that's what I'd do.
So all
that
the
saved
days
my
of being
life.
a gangster.
Yeah,
gone.
that's everybody in Chicago. Woo.
But then you became a musician. You picked
Yes.
up the trumpet.
It was an accident. I touched the piano, and it spoke to me. I felt with every drop of blood in my body, in my DNA. I said, that's what you do the rest of your life. And it was a very good feeling, because it felt natural. And then I started to study as a composer and orchestrator. At the same time I studied, when I played trumpet, I hear French horns and trombones and tubas and so forth. And I played all those instruments when I first started. And I look at the world like 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, 5 saxes, drums, bass, piano, guitar. And it's many people in the symphony orchestra, 120 people, doing exactly the same thing, playing different, doing different things, but all doing it together. And I look at politics like that, everything in the world, countries, people, you know, it's wonderful.
It's like one big orchestra,
Exactly.
united
Exactly.
in harmony. So this is in the 50s when you first
Oh,
started.
so I started in the 40s.
And then 40s and 50s, and then you sort of took off.
Yeah, in 53, I went around the world with Lionel Hampton, all the way to North Africa. Then I went back with Desi at 23. I put his orchestra together and arranged for it. And we went all the way, Aleppo, Damascus, Beirut, Iran, Abadan, you know, Karachi, everywhere. Istanbul, Cyprus, everywhere. And it's fascinating. It really is the food. And the food, music, and the language goes exactly together.
And that's the kind of life you wanted to lead.
Yes, yes. And it fit, it felt just right for my soul. You know, and it still does. I'm still addicted to traveling, or I wouldn't be here.